Bloomberg columnist Caroline Baum joins us now. I like how you talk about the blame game replacing baseball as the national pastime.
Right.
Except, you know, the blame game's so much easier to play.
It certainly is.
Get out, field, practice, all that stuff.
It certainly is, but I think there's a point at which it goes too far. There are legitimate reasons to blame the president, and fixing a hole that's a mile underneath the ocean surface is certainly not something that is within his ability to fix, nor can his energy secretary, a Nobel laureate in physics. He can fix a black hole, maybe,
right,
or he knows what a black hole is,
right,
but a well hole is beyond his ken.
These aren't engineers who are out there who can...
Correct.
But the president knows he has to play in this game, and in fact, there's situations where CEOs or the presidents of countries take credit for things that they don't necessarily have expertise in either.
But, you know, we found out today that the Brits are sort of fighting back with this bashing of BP. I mean, BP has every incentive to clean up this spill as quickly as possible. And, of course, it wasn't just a couple months ago that Obama extended, you know, offshore drilling. Yes. So before you do that, you should know that there's a plan in place. So there are legitimate things to hold the president accountable for, whether it's his health care policies or his attitude toward our strategic allies, whether it's Israel, the UK. But not doing enough to fix this gusher at the bottom of the ocean floor, I don't think is one of the areas that.
But if the solution is not to keep pointing the finger or more fingers at the president, who then can you turn to make sure BP is accountable for this? I mean, what's the alternative?
Well, I mean, clearly, anyone that knows anything about this, I would think that the administration is consulting with, right, you know. Although I was listening to a radio call-in show today, and the other day, and some engineer calling into C-SPAN said, you know, he's got a way to fix it and nobody's listening to him, so maybe they need a better hotline.
This weekend, we know that there are going to be some conversations taking place between David Cameron and the president. How does he shift the attention away from him being the focus of this story, then?
President Obama?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he is the focus of the story. It is an environmental disaster and a threat to the U.S. My critique was, you know, hold him responsible for things he can do or has done, not for something. I mean, the government has no engineers and scientists that know what to do, nor does BP have a quick fix, because you know what? If there was one, it would be in place by now. You
mentioned some of the other key issues that have been on the president's agenda. How have they all been affected? I mean, it seems like health care. What about health care? I mean, we're just totally off.
Well, we're waiting this year for pretty soon the report of the Social Security trustees and Medicare trustees will come out. The 2009 report showed that we have an unfunded liability, that's benefits promised to retirees over and above the taxes and the premiums paid, of over $100 trillion. That's T with a T. That's not a typo. You know? And we'll wait to hear what we think this new, you know, unfunded entitlement is going to cost.
All right. Another big number outside of the BP story. Caroline Baum, Bloomberg columnist, thanks for your time.
Thanks, John.
And Caroline's opinions are her own, do not necessarily reflect those of Bloomberg.